Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
The next thing that we are going to be looking at is called as security groups. Alright, we saw about roles. And next thing, what we're going to be seeing is called as security groups. We'll see this a common example of security group actually. And then we'll proceed on to this. For this, what I do is I go to view security groups in the search and then I type manager security group. Since this is a common role that we have seen, I'm just going to the manager security group. Ignore these warnings right now because this is a training tenant and they haven't actually fixed this up. There are some critical issues which are coming. Ignore these warnings and errors that are coming up. Real world, you may not see this. And number one you see over here. This particular role is called as view role based security group constraint. And this security group is based on a role that we have already created over here. And this role-based security group which I have created over here means that I need to have a one-on-one mapping with the maintain assignable roles that I have over here. I repeat, when I say that I have created over here, I need to ensure that this particular security group needs to have a one-on-one mapping with this particular maintain assignable roles over here. Two points to note. The security group I create, the name need not be the same as what I give over here. Here I'm saying the role could be manager, but here it need not be manager. I can say manager underscore super manager underscore Arian. MIR123, whatever I want, I can create it. Not a rule at all. That is number one. And the mapping happens in the security group, not in the maintain assignable roles. The mapping happens in the security group over here. Group criteria, maintain assignable role. And I say manager. A role-based security group means that I'm having a role-based or a role created first. Which is going to be assigned to a supervisory organization. And I'm creating a security group for this role that I have created. And why I'm creating a security group? Let me go back to what I said earlier. Security is basically who can do what. Let me just take it this way. First, I've created a manager role. That manager role, I have enabled it for a supervisory organization. Now I've created who? I've created who? Who is a manager? And I have enabled it at a supervisory organization by creating a security group. What I do is, I'm saying manager, which is a who for my question, can do what? What can this particular security group that I've created? Okay. That is very simple, as what it gets. Are we clear actually what security group is? A security group, in a nutshell, is very simple. What can a person Who is assigned to this particular security group? In. And who is going to be determined by the role? The role is going to be assigned to user. In a role-based security, I'm going to be assigning this to a role, and the role will be assigned to user. This security group is going to say this particular person. That is precisely what a role-based security group is. What are the privileges this particular security group can? Alright, first I will go to this particular option and then I'll come to the ones which are below. See if you see over here, this particular page says access rights to the organization. Because this is a role-based security group, I'm going to be assigning it to a organization level, which could be local, supervisory organization, or cost centers. I can assign this role to any organization type, be it support, location, or cost center, based on how I have given it over here in the maintain assignable roles. Alright, based on where I have enabled this, I can have this over here. And again, here I have 4 options. I can say that this is going to apply this particular security group, and the privileges is going to apply to my current organization. I have another option over here which says applies to current organizations and unassigned subordinates. I have an option over here which says applies to current organization and all subordinates. Applies to current organization and subordinates to level. Current organization and unassigned subordinates. Which means if I have an organization, subordinate organization, and in that particular subordinate organization, I do not have in assigned. I have a manager, or let's take 8 partner. I may have it 4, and the subordinate organization 4 could be N2 if I do not any specific for the HR partner. For my subordinate organization, it will pick it automatically. The superior supervisory organization, if I am going to be assigning it, it is not going to have it clear on the funda. If I do not assign, it will pick it from inheritance. Other, it is going to have somebody who is going to be individual for that subordinate organization. Whether you assign it or inherit is going to be applied. And the last one applies to organization and subordinates up to a level. I can restrict it and say that up to certain level I am going to be applying it. We generally do not use option number 4. For most of them, we pick option number 2. Inheritance happens unless you want to override it. Automatically happen. That is number. Second option that we have over here in terms of access right to organization. And the third option that we are going to see over here, access right to multiple job workers. First one, since this is a managerial role, I am going to be creating, I am saying role has access to the positions that they support for any position that this particular or person is a manager, and that they support. They will have the as alright position related by the manager that they support and those people who responsible. I create a position and for that position I am the manager for that particular position or the support. Then it will come across to me. Row 4. Primary job has access to the position because I could have more position 3 and I could have multiple. This is applicable when I have more minutes assigned to the same supervisory organization. For example, Carl joined and all three have been assigned as a for a specific supervisory organization. I can say for one position is going to be man is going to manage is going to be for that particular position and I get Krishnaving in the second supplementary to that particular position specifically of I position support for position particular position supervisory support position creating a manage specific man handling position relate motive people assign applicable whatever creating security assignment assignable mm, assignable create map the motive assign policy secure secure good with core assign business process security permission business process test process take a business process filtering business process the business Se- secure security business process operation available, business, process, secure, permission, everybody, X, because high process, whatever, Im, initial, initiate, secure, group, initial, employee, avail, employee, secure, security, manage, action, secure, secure, assignable, present, get, exact, oh, red, seen, concentrate, security, because that's challenging, secure, picking, sec, it, big, right, security, specific, organization, weak, location, supervisory, organization, center, sick, specific, because, create, tag, specific, support, load, highlight, tagging, people, secure, good, What I mean by a user-based security group is there could be certain roles or certain security groups. Let me not say roles, let me say only use the word security groups. I could have certain roles which are going to be organization wide, which means I could have one or more people assigned at an entire organization level for my entire Amazon or Facebook. I could have only a couple of people or just a handful of people who are assigned as security admins in the Workday tenant who are going to be taking care of all the security related issues. I could have only a handful of people who are like HR admins, payroll admins, and they are the topmost super user level people, and they are going to be the ones who are going to be handling all the administrative level stuff, which is like at a super user level. Right? And I am not going to tag them to any organization, but they are entity wide, they are at an entire organization level. Those people we call them as user-based security group. And in the role-based security group, we saw that I'm going to be creating a role, which I'm going to be having it at an organization level. And in that organization, I'm going to say XYZ is going to be this particular role. But for a user-based security group, since this is at an enterprise-wide, which means it is at the entire organization level. It is not going to be just at one specific support inheritance. Nothing comes in over here. It is at the entire enterprise-wide level, and I'm directly going to assign this to my user. I'm going to assign this directly to a user. If I come back to this particular chart, role-based user, how I'm going to be doing this? I'm going to be creating an underlying role, and that role I'm going to be assigning to company cost center and everything. And in this organization, I am going to be assigning a specific user as a role. Whereas when I say a user-based security group, I will create one user, which is at an entire enterprise-wide. It's not going to be just at a company cost center location, supervisory organization level for the entire organization, say the entire entity. I'm going to be having only specific users assigned as user-based security group. This is directly assigned to my user. If I go over here and find out my Euro user-based security group, I also have a security admin, and I am going to be using this only for a handful of people only, even if you are an entire enterprise-wide. Clear on this? Any questions? And I may not have many of the options that we saw earlier because there is no inheritance, no position-based multiple, etc. Nothing is going to be there. It's straightforward. I'm going to create a user-based security group. I'm going to create a user-based security group in this group and directly tagging users directly to this particular security group. And in a real world, even if I'm going to have an organization like, say, Walmart or Amazon or Facebook, who have hundreds of thousands of users or employees across the globe, I will have only a handful, maybe 0.1%, based on my organization, employee count assigned to this particular admin level groups. Like I said, this is at an entity-wide. This is not just at a support level, location level, or anywhere. It is at an entity-wide. Clear on this? Difference between role-based. I will create a role, and then that role is going to be assigned to this particular organization. And then I will have people assigned. User-based is directly assigned to a specific user only. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.